In order and call on Councilor Barton.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll.
Counselor Barton,
Here.
Counselor Brown,
Here.
Counselor Jennings,
Here.
Counselor Broughton,
Here.
Counselor Watson, Mayor Lovelace.
Here.
We have a quorum to do business.
Approval of the November 12th, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Motion to approve November 12th, 2024 regular minute meeting.
A second.
I have a motion by Counselor Barton, a second by Counselor Brown to approve the November 12th, 2024 regular meeting minutes. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Counselor Barton,
Yes.
Counselor Brown,
Yes.
Counselor Jennings,
Yes.
Counselor Broughton.
Yes.
The minutes for November 12th, 2024 are approved.
I'll make one change under new business. I'm going to move 5E, which is Provalis update, and make it 5.1. So under new business, the first item will be the Provalis update, and I'll call on Will Rudy.
Brewton, Alabama. It's a small southern town. Brewton has what I would call a very honest society here. You know, if I think of somebody whose grandfather stood on a log and rolled that log to Pensacola, Florida, and walked back, I think we come from a pretty good spot.
So what we've experienced in rural America is what we call the brain drain. I mean, it was certainly a focus when I was in economic development, but the idea is that our young folks are having to leave our rural communities to seek opportunities elsewhere.
We're always looking at you, the mayor, to provide a better future for the people that live here or the people that want to come back here. Provalis was that opportunity.
Our focus at Provalis is to be able to keep our young folks in the communities and make sure that they're our future leaders. I mean, it's going to take our young folks staying in our communities for the future generations.
Provalis is a people business, and what we do is we provide IT outsourcing services and business process outsourcing services. What's unique is we do it in small town rural America.
A big part of what we see in rural America is that people want to work, and they want to work hard, and they want to be proud of their work. Many of them either don't want to leave their hometowns because they're caring for family members, or they can't. For some of them, it's even a lifeline. So having the chance for a corporate job with a growing career path is absolutely critical to their success, and often critical to the health and well-being of their families.
We find that in rural America, there's just an attitude that's more welcoming, that's maybe a little slower paced, more accessible, less stressful, and customers love that experience. So it's kind of a little bit of a secret weapon for us.
I've been in the IT outsourcing industry for a long time. What I haven't been able to see done successfully until now is what Provalis is doing. Because we're revitalizing rural America and we're investing back in America, back in the communities that need it the most.
You walk our floor and you're going to see folks that weren't going to the paper mill, they weren't going to the lumber mill. So being able to be that opportunity for those folks who really got lost in our system is extremely unique.
Born from that idea was what we call mission with a margin, which is to create a business in rural America that would compete against these offshore outsourcers and would beat them on quality and value. And that's exactly what we're doing. Part of our value proposition is our ability to rapidly train that talent. The way that we're able to do it is really through what we call tech foundry.
Our training programs are really key in this because we can bring in people at all levels and spend time training them and getting them ready for the jobs. So that enables us to have this engine that continue to fuel itself and make sure that we're successful with all of our engagements.
But it's not just IT training or the process training the customer needs. It's really about how do you behave in a professional work environment. This might be the person's first commercial job. We've got a partnership with the Department of Defense called Skilled Bridge Program, where we take veterans and help them transition into the private sector. We have some of the highest productivity of any provider. On a per hour basis, our people are higher paid than people that are offshore, but on an amount of work produced, we are a better value.
So when we go into towns and we help kind of employ 200, 300 people, that's a $20 to $30 million impact to that local economy.
And you can imagine the multiplier effect of it. You can walk down the street here in Brewton and look at an entire row of buildings that were boarded up a year and a half ago that now have boutiques, a coffee shop, a pizzeria. That's only here because of the money that's flowing through these facilities. So we're really proud of that.
We were able to see some green space come back in and really just improve the landscape of downtown. So it's been an amazing transformation in this community. 5 years later, after opening up in this community, if you don't get downtown early, you're not going to get a parking spot.
These are the things that you start to see from not just investing in the talent and the people, but the compounded interest of going into these communities and investing. So yeah, we're willing to not sleep and work 100-hour work weeks and see 50% growth year over year and continue to set those stretch goals because we're literally changing the lives of people that are in these communities and need it.
In almost every single case that I can tell you, our quality is higher, our attrition is better, our attendance is better, and so you overall have a better product than any of the competition. And a lot of that is because, again, there's such a sense of pride in the community of wanting to do a good job, of sitting side by side in the center with all of your coworkers on a day-to-day basis.
And so, yeah, you come to small town America and you get reminded what this country's about. There's probably 80,000 cities like this across the country. We planes, trains, and automobile to get to all of these towns. The question is how fast can we all do it? And, time will tell.
We are now opening a center almost every quarter. So 3 or 4 centers a year for all of us that live the mission. It's exciting to see that acceptance in the marketplace, that accelerated growth across this country.
It really comes back to the mission of the company. There's probably nothing better than to see an old warehouse that hasn't been occupied for 20 years, and you come in, renovate it into a super cool tech center, put 250 people to work there that are now on a career path that was not even possible before. And when you step back and look at it, mainly what we say is, let's do it again.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, for just a few minutes for an update as we wind down another year. I wanted you to see this video really for a couple reasons. One, I wanted you to understand how we market Provalis. And I wanted you to understand that, Brewton is not just our model for rural development. Brewton is our story. And that's how we market this. And, we not only share this video with every client we talk to by our sales team, but every community that I talk to, which many now are reaching out to us and recruiting us into their communities. We share this video and we share this story. As a matter of fact, we now require all of our clients and all of the communities we're in talks with to come visit us in Brewton. And we do that because it's one thing to talk about our story, but for us, we want them to come into our community. We want them to see the impact we're having. We want them to meet our people, and we want them to understand, what we've been able to do here in Brewton. And another reason, I wanted you to see the impact you're having in rural America. And I say you because you took this chance, many years ago, and now you have impacted well over 1,000 people's lives across rural communities. We've now developed, 7 communities just like we have in Brewton, Alabama. So you've enabled, a tremendous impact across this country. I think back to 2017 and some of the conversations we were having back then. And I know each of you, just like me, during those conversations, you Googled Provalis and nothing came up. And so here was this company with really just a neat idea, talking about hundreds of IT jobs, which was so far-fetched. for all of us in economic development at the time. Now, I will say Optimi was and is a very, very strong company, so we were able to alleviate some risk, but nonetheless, Provalis was just a neat idea. And you were able to accept that challenge, think outside the box, and able to create, what you see here today and the impact you have had. When we first started talking, it was really revolving around 300 jobs. That was kind of the number we were talking about back then. And we all kind of decided, that's a large number for a community this size. And we said, what if? What if this is real? And we all face skepticism, and much of it was healthy skepticism. Everybody should question what's going on, especially something this far outside of the box. But we thought, what if they only get to 200? What if they only get to 100? What an impact that's still going to have in a town this size. And so I'm here today to tell you that we have now crossed over 300 jobs in this community. And I am certainly appreciative of that. The lives that have been impacted, the multiplier effect of that. And it is so fun to watch these communities come into our town, and they all ask the same thing: why? Why Brewton? What set Brewton apart? And so I get to tell them the story about the first time that this company came into town here, and that was just it. You were investing in your community to set yourself apart. I have talked to you many times about the flowers in downtown and the sidewalks that were going in. And we all know the challenges in rural America. They're everywhere. Every rural community is facing, shuttered buildings and healthcare, daycare, education challenges. Every rural community faces challenges. But those that are winning are the ones that are setting themselves apart and investing in themselves. And sometimes it is as simple as flower baskets. And I say simple. Those are very, very large investments. But it is what set this community apart. It was different than anything that this company had seen in any other community they went into, and it got them exploring this community. And then I get to take those communities around, and I get to brag on our education and our healthcare and our recreation and the parks that you guys continue to invest in. It makes a difference. And so I'm here to say thank you. I'm here to say thank you for the support. This would not be possible without you, and I want you to know that Brewton is our story. We market you as such. You gave us the start. You were the beginning, and we certainly appreciate it. I hope each of you are proud of the risk you took and the ability to think outside the box. No was the easy answer. We've talked about that many times. We could have said no during this process, and nobody would have faulted any of us for that. But that's not the route you took. You decided to accept the challenge. We all work together to think outside the box, make a difference, and that's how you succeed in rural America. This is extremely unusual. Many communities want to know how you did this. And so I get to tell your story all over this country, and it's exciting. It's fun to watch the folks come into this community. I had an executive that visited us last year. Typically, the folks that come from our companies are high-level executives. And he is from Nantucket and had never stepped foot in Alabama. And he called this summer, and he was in the Florida Gulf Coast on a family vacation, and he brought his wife into Brewton to spend time and to shop. He was so blown away by what he saw here and the hospitality and all of the activities going on in this community that, he came back for a second trip on his own dime. And I thought that was pretty exciting, pretty telling of what you've been able to do in this community. And we appreciate you leaning in, working with us. I will tell you, 300 was, the floor. It was the minimum. It was never meant to be a ceiling. So, let's continue to work together. Let's see where we can take this. Let's continue to find ways to set ourselves apart and continue to grow this community. So I just came to say, thank you. We will talk maybe after the first of the year and what a celebration. We're going to celebrate this 300 number. It's a big deal for us. It's a big deal for this community, but we don't want it to get lost in the holiday shuffle. So we'll talk about what that looks like next year. But I do just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart as somebody that lives in this community, as somebody who saw this as a way to be able to give back to this community and drive change and making sure that we are utilizing our resources to further develop this community and partnerships in this community. I just say thank you for everything you've done, and we'll continue to work together, and we're still, committed to continuing to grow this business. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, on behalf of the city, I just want to say, first going over that 300 number for us, that was a big number. As you are well aware, that was a key to a large grant, which we've now started to collect on. And I think that, if I'm not wrong, that also makes you the largest private employer inside the city limits now. So
Inside the limits, yes.
That's and I guess I'll take credit for the slide now, since it works out.
I have
For
to
those of you that were here, that was a lot of discussion about that
I
slide.
give you credit for that slide very, very often. And, as I was fighting this company over that slide, representing you, and then, long story short, I switched over to the company and they started signing my paychecks. I had to fight with the mayor for that slide. So
Well,
it has turned out to be the right choice. Every dignitary in the state, most of them anyway, have been down the slide, and we make all our communities and all our clients go down the slide. They absolutely love it.
Well, when we had the two men from the Federal Reserve here, and they were sitting on that slide, and y'all were taking pictures, I thought, we needed that slide.
Yeah, you fought for that, didn't you, Mayor? Well, thank you.
Congratulations to you and your company.
Thanks so much.
Great job. Next item is to approve an amendment to the City of Brewton Business License Ordinance, and I'll call on the city clerk.
Councilors, as we've discussed in the last couple of workshops, and we even discussed this in the budget meetings, that it was more than time for us to kind of update some of the business license fees. We're not doing a large increase. We're basically adding some columns to some of the gross receipt, the items that are judged on their gross receipts. We have a cap, and we're adding some columns to that. We have compared to other cities in our area, several. We are well below some of those, and we're well in line with some of the others. This ordinance hasn't been updated since 2006, so we're just trying to update it and make it fit with our business now, the businesses now. But if anyone has any questions, please let me know. This is a three-part vote on this ordinance.
So that's ordinance number 24-1125-1.
I'd like to introduce 24-1125-1.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilor Brown, a second by Councilor Broughton to introduce ordinance 24-1125-1. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Councilor Barton,
Yes.
Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Councilor Jennings,
Yes.
Councilor Broughton.
Yes.
Ordinance 24-1125-1 has been introduced.
I'd like to consider 24-1125-1 for immediate consideration.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilor Brown, a second by Councilor Jennings to immediately consider ordinance 24-1125-1. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Councilor Barton,
Yes.
Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Councilor Jennings,
Yes.
Councilor Broughton.
Yes.
Mayor Lovelace.
Yes.
Ordinance 24-1125-1 is immediately considered.
I'd like to bring for approval 24-1125-1.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilor Brown, a second by Councilor Barton to approve ordinance 24-1125-1. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Councilor Barton.
Yes.
Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Councilor Jennings.
Yes.
Councilor Broughton.
Yes.
Ordinance 24-1125-1 is approved.
The next item is to approve a contract with Cortera Billing for the utility line locate services, and I'll call on the city clerk.
Councilors, this is a department uses for line locate services. They keep up with our historical information, pictures, and our utilities superintendent, Ray Madden, would like to continue this contract.
Now, this contract helps them if a line gets cut,
Right.
then they have documentation
Correct.
that if it
holds
was.
all their documentation, and they're able to contact them and get photos, historical information for several years.
When you say lines, we talking water lines?
Correct, water line and sewer lines.
Okay. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion, we approve resolution, where am I at? 241125-2.
Second.
A motion by Councilor Broughton, a second by Councilor Jennings to approve resolution 241125-2. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Councilor Barton?
Yes.
Councilor Brown?
Yes.
Councilor Jennings?
Yes.
Councilor Broughton?
Yes.
Resolution 24-1125-2 is approved.
Next item is to approve placement of story walk exhibits in Jennings Park. That's resolution number 24-1125-3.
Mayor, we have Connie Baggett here to kind of give us some information on the story walk exhibits.
Good afternoon again. We were approached, or the Alabama Cooperative Extension Service approached us last summer. They had the opportunity to apply for a grant to install Story Walk. There are 22 of these posts, and they have a frame on top. Basically what happens is they will be purchasing books for kindergarten through fourth grade. They disassemble the books and put it in chronological order so that kids and their parents walking around Jennings Park will be able to read a story as they go. It both promotes exercise and reading comprehension, and just a very good thing, a very good addition for any park. So they were able to successfully get that. They do have the equipment already, just waiting for us to install, if you approve installation of this at the park. We're hoping to get a Christmas story installed in the next week or so if we can get those posts in the ground.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion, we approve resolution 241125-3.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilor Broughton, a second by Councilor Barton to approve resolution 24-1125-3. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Councilor Barton?
Yes.
Councilor Brown?
Yes.
Councilor Jennings?
Yes.
Councilor Broughton?
Yes.
Resolution 24-1125-3 is approved.
I'd also like to mention and thank the city clerk and thank Connie Baggett. A few weeks ago, we announced that the City of Brewton got a $100,000 grant for trees and so forth, and they now got another $30,000 grant for beautification last week. So that's
That's
very
nice.
good.
Yeah. Nice, thank you.
Next is appoint a nominating committee for the Public Library Board. There are two members whose terms are coming up. That's Karen Whitt and Adam Powell. And I appoint Councilor David Jennings and Councilor Kerry Brown. Next item is a City of Brewton Christmas holiday programming, and I call on Connie Baggett.
We have a busy season coming up. This week will mark the start of City of Brewton. It's our annual holiday programming that we have in each of our parks. November 30th on Saturday, we'll do City of Brewton Lights, which is when we turn on the lights all over town. We kind of have been testing them a little bit around, but we'll have everything up and running on Saturday. That event happens at City Park downtown. There'll be hot cocoa, vendors, the T.R. Miller High School Choir Ensemble will be there doing some Christmas music too. We'll have football on the TV and a lot of other fun things going on. The snow machines will be running, and we'll even have, as soon as the lights get switched on, we'll have Santa Claus over at City of Brewton Station, which is our train station over in Jennings Park. The elves will be busy up at Dogwood Hill, so there'll be a lot going on Saturday evening for families to go out and enjoy. December 11th is our next big event that we have. Now, programming will start in all those parks starting this weekend. The programming is on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have brochures that you could look at to get the specific times and what happens at which one. To families can get out and get free train rides at Jennings Park. There's the tree that's, an animated tree that's at City Park, and a lot of other fun things to do there. And of course, they got the elves will be running their little village at Dogwood Hills for those programming hours. December 11th will be the Golden Family Christmas at Dogwood Hills. The concert tickets are $30 for adults, and 12 and under kids will be free to get in there. We'll have tents and heaters ready. Hopefully the weather will cooperate with us, and we'll also have wagon rides going on that night too, and vendors will be set up there. Starting at 5 p.m., the concert will be at 6. December 13th, the Chamber Christmas Parade will be downtown. We'll have a holiday market going on starting at 5 p.m., and the parade comes a little bit later. We'll have the snow machines out just as usual downtown. December 14 and 15, we'll have luminaries on Evergreen and Belleville. Wagon rides will start at City Park clock at 5 p.m. for both of those days. And then closing out the year will be the New Year's Eve fireworks that go off at midnight. So if there's any questions, just let me know, and we'll have brochures out. I think we'll have some at the library available. There's some at Just Do.
Some at the Y.
And at the Y, and they're at City Hall here too, up at the chamber desk, and other places in town. If you ask for them, I'm sure we can get you some to distribute to folks who are interested.
Thank you, Connie.
Very welcome.
Meeting adjourned.